Welcome back to my review of Hulk Crossroads, written by Bill Mantlo, art by Sal Buscema. All of the tales of the Crossroads are filled with diverse, imaginative, complex characters that collectively build the fanciful weave of the life that exists on the fringe edge of the universe. Mantlo takes the reader on a slow, deliberate journey through a chaotic series of worlds and peoples, creating an unconscious, looming sense of hopelessness that manifests itself in the Hulk. As we learn intimately who the Hulk is and could be if allowed to live in peace, we also learn that that reality is impossible. And it's truly heartbreaking. Even the Hulk, a creature manifested from the very heart of human rage and fear and animalistic behavior, only yearns for quiet and understanding, and yet life itself, it seems, foils this pursuit. Time and time again, Hulk returns to this boundary of the Crossroads, uncontent with the world he has encountered, and that merciful spell of Doctor Strange that allows him to return to safety begins to feel like a curse. And it's just as this feeling begins to creep over the reader that we get Mantlo's most poignant addition to the Hulk narrative, with the sudden appearance of the Triad, the Guardian, the Goblin, and Glow, who are seemingly just waiting for Hulk at the beginning of the Crossroads. And what's more, are able to travel to the different dimensions with Hulk, unlike the Puffball Collective, who has tried many times. In an aside, we learn the Triad's true intentions as they discuss trying to awaken Bruce Banner's latent consciousness, which still lurks in the psyche of the Hulk somewhere, with each of them representing some aspect of humanity, whether it be abandon and chaos from the Goblin, or morality from the Guardian, or hope from Glow. They are creatures that feel like they might as well exist in this universe that Mantlo has been weaving, so their appearance feels like a fluid enough introduction. It is issue 310, which is also probably one of my favorite Hulk covers of all time. We finally see Bruce Banner brought back from the depths of his own consciousness, as the Hulk encounters a formidable group of cultists on the distant edge of the universe who damage the Hulk so bad that he reverts back into Bruce Banner. Bruce awakens and is probably the most confused anyone has ever been. This leads to a familiar scenario in Hulk comics where Banner learns of the sinister intentions of these cultists and has to make the difficult choice of whether to transform back into the Hulk or not after being inhuman for so long. This two-part tale also introduces another wayward human on this barbarous alien planet, another human scientist who accidentally transported himself to this planet and learned that he could become immortal if, he just drank people's blood. And he acts as a great mirror for Bruce, who is also a victim of the absurdity and cruelty of circumstances beyond his control. But in Bruce's case, at least, he is actively striving for the good. The final issue of Crossroads in 312 is initially disorienting as we find ourselves exploring the early life of Bruce Banner, where we see a star-shaped mobile above baby Bruce's bed that looks strikingly like the entity we know as Glow. Then we see a toddler Bruce playing with a stuffed animal that looks strikingly like the entity we know as the Guardian. And the picture starts to become clearer. Through Bruce's fraught childhood with a mentally and physically abusive father who viewed him as an abomination, the tragic, sudden death of his mother, Bruce had already become well acquainted with repressing and manifesting his strongest emotions. Then came the fateful day with the Gamma Bomb experiment, where Bruce's pent-up frustrations and rage, like some hideous goblin, manifested themselves in a totally new form, the Hulk. And as Bruce awakens and the entity known as the Triad begin to fade, returning to memory, the reader is struck with a profound realization. The story of the Hulk is the story of humanity, the story of life. The constant daily struggle to choose between our best intentions and our impulsive nature. The daily battle, conscious or not, to live with hope or to give into despair. The comic book representation of the aggravating, ever-changing nature of life and time that we struggle to hold on to even a moment of, and yet we yearn to, time and time again. The Hulk's destructive display of force might as well be the eternal human shout of if only, if only. The hopeless, resigned, but human missive of I would change the world if I could, but I just can't. So many comic books leave you with the sense that everyone can be a hero. Hulk comics leave you with the sense that bad things happen to good people. It's precisely this contextualization, this frame of reference for the character of the Hulk that Mantlo so wonderfully relays in the pages of Crossroads, and made me, as a reader, so much more emotionally invested in the Hulk. Crossroads spells out so succinctly what I loved about the character of the Hulk, but wasn't quite able to interpret. There's a tremendous brain chemistry altering notion that pervades across the entirety of the Hulk canon and makes me look at Hulk comics as one continuous story rather than single issues. And is the reason that Hulk is the only superhero character that I feel so intrinsically tied to, because it is the story of humanity, it is the story of myself. I hope that this video has resonated in some way for my fellow Hulk fans, legitimizing our love for this legacy comic creation. Or more importantly, that I've inspired some curiosity for those unfamiliar with this story arc and inspire you to go out and seek it out yourselves. What is your argument for the best Hulk comic? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And once again, thank you so much for watching this video, for watching any of the videos on my channel. It really means the world to me that we're spreading the love of comics and this is engaging in some way, even though I take forever to record these videos because I keep stumbling over my words and I sound ridiculous. I'm really excited to keep making these videos better, to write more thorough, more entertaining reviews for the future. And stay tuned for another long-form legacy comic book review soon.